Welcome in, friends, to our interview with UFC rising star Mackenzie Dern before her huge fight at UFC 222 this Saturday, March 3rd, 2018. Pay-per-view starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. You can catch the prelims on Fox Sports 1, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Before we get to Mackenzie and her thoughts about her UFC debut, being in the middle of the women's movement in sports, and so much more, here's a quick message.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves.
Thanks for keeping it with us, guys. Here's our interview with UFC star Mackenzie Dern.
Hi, Mike.
Mackenzie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for taking some time for us. I'm going to get you in and out. I know you've had a crazy week. You have a crazy weekend coming out. How excited are you to get into this? Get into the Octagon this weekend?
Man, I'm so excited. Hasn't even really hit. It's still pretty surreal for me. Mm-hmm. I think it's good because it still feels just like one more fight and everything. I don't feel like, oh man, I'm feeling the UFC or anything like that. They always say you have the UFC jitters.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see on the moment when I walk into the cage how I'll feel. But right now I'm feeling great. I'm excited to fight, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, and that idea of being able to just keep it, focused and stay on target. Does the camp change? Does the team change when it is the platform of the UFC compared to some of the other great organizations you came from?
No, everything we're going pretty the same. For sure, the UFC is way more is another step up. With the organization, how it's so professional and everything. Mm-hmm. But also too, our training and everything is we're doing the best we can, just for me to be the best prepared for no matter what organization I was fighting. Mm-hmm. We just want to make sure I'm always going to be the best I can be to fight whoever I'm going to fight, and fight as best as I can.
Yeah, absolutely, and hone it all together. And how cool is it to be on a card that's headlined by some of the baddest women on the planet? Like, you're part of this movement now in sports, and specifically in MMA. How cool is it to be part of a card that's being driven and publicized by the power of women? Oh,
it's so awesome. When of course, I didn't want to hear that Max got hurt, but right. When I saw that Chris was the headliner, I said, man, that's so awesome. Right. I'm a huge fan of hers, and to be on the same card as her, I think it's great. And, yeah, like you said, I think it's really awesome to be kind of part of this new generation and this new movement of women becoming into MMA and being every day more and more professional fighters.
Do you ladies of all sports, do you really do you take that to heart, knowing that you're the example now moving forward for a lot of these young girls and a lot of these women who are thinking about taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or any type of martial art? Does that weigh heavy on you guys?
Me personally, I take it really serious. Mm-hmm. I left Jiu-Jitsu, because I wanted to inspire and make
mm-hmm.
a difference and try to represent my sport, Jiu-Jitsu,
right.
and represent women on an even bigger stage,
Right.
So for sure I take it way more serious, I want to try to inspire, but being my personality,
right.
so you can have fun and still be who you are, but at the same time I want to show we can be taken professional, we can be anything you want to be, really. You can,
right.
You can live off of this. It's really hard to see people live off of. It's hard to see guys or girls live off of just fighting. So imagine
right.
even just girls. It's hard. It was very taboo to see that. So for sure, when I got the opportunity to try to make a difference on an even bigger stage, man, I'm taking it so serious, and I'm trying to take advantage of this. For sure.
And I think what's really cool is not only are you representing women and the division itself is doing such a great job on that, but you personally representing, your heritage, Brazilian and from the United States. How cool is that too, to be able to just kind of have that trifecta of, you have the MMA lineage in your blood, and then you being here from the United States, and you have this women power. It's just it's such a cool banner to be able to represent, and a cool shield to use in your career.
Yeah, I feel so fortunate because, like I was saying, I represent women, of course. I represent like a whole martial art, jiu-jitsu, like my jiu-jitsu background. So I represent like a whole community in the world. And then I get I'm so lucky to have the two biggest nationalities in mixed martial arts that I represent, USA and Brazil. So I think I have like 4 different types of aspects that I represent, on my whole MMA career. So it's so great to know like I'm not on this journey by myself. And at the same time, I'm just trying to represent all of those things the best way possible. So I think I'm very fortunate for sure.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333.
Yeah, that's really badass. And speaking of badass, you have an opponent this weekend, Ashley O'Dare, who's had a couple UFC fights already. How important was that for you guys to really test your skill and show everybody that you're here and you're a real player in what it is a stacked women's division and a women's just sport right now?
It's so important for sure to show I'm ready, but at the same time we're being very patient. We're just I don't have any plans. I don't think like my coaches, they had plans to put me, with the top 10, 5 ranked girls and, next fight or anything like that. So I think like Ashley is every fight I know for sure is going to bring a different obstacle to the fight, Ashley, for example, she's like southpaw. I never fought a southpaw before. She's a lot longer than me. And the fact that she has had 2 losses, I know for sure she's going to come with all the fire in her eyes, to win. So I know she's going to give me so many different challenges that none of my other opponents have given me. And I'm just excited to see who my next opponent will be, and just see. I know I'll be getting each fight better and better as an athlete and as a fighter. So, I think she's a great test for me. And I know for sure just each fight is going to get more difficult and more. I think the fans will see an evolved Mackenzie every fight.
Yeah, and I think people are so excited just to see, the ceiling is so high and everybody just sees the passion that comes out for you. So I think we're very excited to see what happens this Saturday. But you know what, Mackenzie, I want to get you on some fun ones. I know you have a busy day. You're going to answer a bunch of, same mumble jumble. So let's get you on some fun ones. I heard somebody told me here in Chicago you're a fan of Michael Jordan. Is this true now?
Yes, of course. Who's not a fan of Michael Jordan?
That's the right answer right there. And when you're not kicking butt, I mean, I know it's in your DNA and you're a badass. We know we get it. But when you aren't doing all that, what do you like to do? What is Mackenzie? What are you up to? Are you watching movies? You're cooking? Are you playing with dogs? What are you doing?
Yeah, all of that stuff. I love to go to the movies. I like to cook so much. I even want to do like one cooking course. My dogs, man. My dogs are my babies. So I'm always with my dogs. This year, I'm getting into surfing.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know. I would like to compete in a surf competition maybe sometime this year. The bad thing is like all my training is in Arizona, so it's kind of hard to practice when I'm in a desert. But every time I'm in Brazil, California, I'm trying to get better at surfing. And like to eat. But like I said, the diet part is the worst for me, sushi and all that stuff. So whenever I get a chance, I like to go to, like for me, one thing I don't mind to spend money on is like go to good restaurants and have good food and stuff like that. For me, I'll pay expensive, for me, it's worth it,
Absolutely. Oh, there's nothing like a great meal. And then but it's so funny too, you're this super athlete, and then you're what you're doing on your spare time is trying to be a super athlete in a different sport, and then go have a deep dish pizza. Mackenzie, you're the best. Any last words before we get you out of here? And good health, good luck this weekend. The floor is yours. Any last words to your fans here in Chicago and listening to us on all over the place?
Yeah, no, just thank you so much for the time, for having me on the show. And man, I've been to Chicago a few times for jiu-jitsu seminars. I love Chicago. It's the Windy City, right?
Yep.
So really, really nice. thank you, all my fans from Chicago and all over the U.S. and the world. So thank you so much, and I hope to put on a good show for you guys.
Mackenzie, good luck this weekend. Good luck moving forward. When you're in Chicago, we'll go ahead and pig out and go get some deep dish pizza for you guys.
Definitely. Thanks so much.
A huge thank you to Mackenzie Dern and the UFC, and of course the fine folks in New York City for setting this up. You can catch Mackenzie Dern at UFC 222 prelims live on Fox Sports 1. Start time is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. UFC 222 is live on pay-per-view, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview here on Mercado Airwaves. You can follow us everywhere in the universe. We're on Facebook. Like us at Mercado Airwaves. Follow me on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like, rate, review, and share us on iTunes. iTunes.com/Mercado Airwaves. We're also on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/Mercado Airwaves. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube.com/Mike Mercado2333. Check out behind the scenes at Instagram, Instagram.com/Mike Mercado2333. And every one of our shows here on Mercado Airwaves, every single one of our interviews is brought to you by our amazing producers over at Patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you have a brand that you would like to bring out to a huge, diverse group of audience, we have it here just for you over at Patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Thank you all so much. We will see you next time here on Mercado Airwaves.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333.